Welcome back to Cyber Sea of Galilee on this beautiful feast of St. Peter Claver. Sister Mercedes, what do you know about him? Could you share this with all of us on Cyber Sea of Galilee DSMME?
I'm going to tell you just a little bit about him. So Peter Claver was from Spain, actually. He's an early Jesuit, so the late 1500s, early 1600s. But like many Jesuits at the time, he went out into the missions right away. So he, passing his vows, he went out to Latin America, to the New World. He actually went to Colombia and Cartagena. So he is very much well known for his work with the slaves and evangelizing them and showing love of Christianity. One thing I want to highlight about him is that he actually he wanted to serve by being inspired by Alonso Sandoval. So it's a beautiful thing to show that when you desire Christ, when you see someone working for Christ, you want to follow them. They're actually an inspiration. So you don't even know if you're inspiring someone right now. The idea that Alonso Sandoval's work, he worked for 40 years laboring with the slaves and bringing them Christ, showing them Christ in this new world that was so harsh and nobody knew what was going on. There comes Peter Claver, who ends up being this amazing saint because he was following in the footsteps of another probably saint. And that's such a beautiful thing. And I want you to have this little brick wall behind me, and it just shows a simplicity of service. He had nothing. He had nothing but Christ. He had nothing to give. He just gave everything by his own love and by the love of Christ. And that's something we're all called to do. We're all called to just give and give because Christ gave all. And that's done obviously because we're following Christ, but also because we see Christ in others and we can follow their example. I mean, for me, I have great inspiration in my sisters, and seeing my sisters just amazingly, beautifully live their consecration and serve the Lord. We have wonderful foundresses that really exhibit that for me and for all of us. Sister Andrew is included in that. But truly, I mean, you can find inspiration in people all around you, and your friends, and people who are in authority of you, or even people that maybe be simpler and have a simple, beautiful faith that really can correspond with you. So I want you to think about the people that inspire you in your life and how they do that. What about them makes you want to be a better person, to live your faith more? And tell them. That means a lot. When you tell somebody that they actually inspire you, that there's something about them. And so I want you to try and do that today.
Well, sister, you certainly inspire me, and I have been fascinated by your hand motions because they're always out reaching out to others. And St. Peter Claver must be very proud of you, and I think that's beautiful. Also, if I might just add, I love the background that you chose because life so many times looks pretty drab and monotonous and like it's a brick on a brick and there's no excitement in it. And yet this is where we become saints. Because, sister, as your outstretched hand showed over and over to us on Cyber Sea today, the gift of self. Wow.
Yes.
Sister, that was powerful.
Of course. So find somebody. You can tell us about the person that inspires you. Just really go out and tell them. Try to live closer with Christ and go from there.
Sister, beautiful. Thank you, honey. God bless everybody on Cyber Sea of Galilee.